beautiful day in the neighborhood. I am so glad to be here and be here in the land of the living. Hi, I'm Yolanda Hinton, host of FYI Morning Show Live. I want to welcome Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. As a matter of fact, go over to YouTube to the newest channel, FYI Radio Show Live. Host Yolanda Hinton. You can always go to Crystal Records One, Cristo Records One. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, follow me, and I will follow you back. Look, it's a beautiful day here. We can expect it to be in the 90s. The heat wave is back. I tell you what, it's August. And what can we expect from August but a whole bunch of heat, rain, and humidity? Nevertheless, it is still a great day, and it's glad time to be alive and good to be here. So many folks are already chiming in. I will shout you out a little bit later on. Over here on TikTok, they are definitely blowing it up as usual. But on all platforms, we're so glad for you to be here with us, and we're so glad for your support. Let me shout out the sponsors real quick, and that's Bulvic Academy, BULVIC Academy.com. Make sure you all go over there. Great books for the family, for children, an anti-bullying initiative, games, upcoming events, and all kind of things over there. www.bulvicacademy.com, BULVIC. Check it out. The second sponsor is Beard Gods, www.beardgods, that's with a Z, BEARDGODZ. Make sure you go over there and find some great things for your man, for your boo, for your uncle, your granddaddy, all of them. Go over there. They got some great products for men, for your beard. You got balms, you got all kind of oils and conditioners, shampoos, and you name it, education and everything on how to take care of all of that, you and your beard and everything else. And so don't forget to visit, say that FYI sent you over there, and make sure you support our businesses and sponsors. Look, this is Hump Day Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. You all should be up and popping, having a good time. You know, got everything in order, doing your business and enjoying life. It's the middle of the week, and so hey, if you're not up and popping by now, I don't know what to say. Maybe you're getting ready for the weekend. Nevertheless, we got a few more days before then, and we hope that your hump day is going to be just fantastic. Look, this is FYI Wednesdays segment. It's a new series. We usually do What's Under the Hat, men's issues, but I tell you what, today we're going to talk about three experiences, and that's the married experience, the single, the divorce in this series. Today, we're going to talk about the married man, and we have FYI special guest, comedian, actor, Cletus Cassidy, and we're going to say good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Glad to see you. You're looking well, and I tell you
Oh
what,
man, I'm glad, man. I was listening to your sponsors, man. I'm gonna stop by the beard place, me and I'm gonna try to take my aunt with me because
all
her beard is strong.
right.
Her beard is strong as well, man. I want to make sure that she gets all the stuff that she needs for her beard. Because you left the ladies out. You was
But you
like
know
all
what,
the guys.
Cletus, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I include the lady because I know sometimes. Look,
Yeah,
not a
get a little
lady.
long in there. Get a little long in the tooth. And you got to do it, man. So I include that, man. My Uncle Shirley, she enjoys getting her beard done. So I'm with it.
But you know, some women are full beard.
Yeah, go and I'm with it. I mean, listen, whatever floats your boat, it works. You know, not me. I got mine. When there's a lot of handsome women out there, man. So I let them
Oh
be them.
my God. I tell you, women have a time sometimes, but there are a whole lot of things out here that is going to help you maintain your skin and all that kind of stuff. And definitely, Big Gods is the place to go to find out whether you are a man or a woman.
With a Z. Beer gods with a Z.
With a Z.
Yeah, beer
Please,
gods
I
with a
want
Z.
to tell our audience a little bit about you. We got a whole lot of folks chiming in. Good morning, all you all up here. I'll shout you out in a little bit. But I tell you what, our very special guest has done so many things. His comedy is for everyone. This versatile and clean comedian has entertained audience throughout the country with a style of comedy that is full of energy and relatability. I like that. Whether delivering his timely, refreshing brand of stand up, hosting an event, or acting, Cletus is sure to leave audiences laughing non-stop. Oh my goodness, it sounds like you really, really love what you do. But it goes on and it says Cletus' unique point of view and comedic delivery has provided him the opportunity to entertain audiences throughout the country and on national television. He has entertained churches, colleges, numerous corporate groups, and charities using his wit as a comic. Oh my goodness, his ability as an actor and his gift of gab as a public speaker. He has recently toured in the country as a part of the Back Pew Kids Tour. I can't wait to hear you tell me more about that. I think that is so interesting. And it goes on and on and on. You said you have done the uh, that tour. You've done so many other tours, and you've worked with comedians like Jonathan McReynolds and actors, Marvin Sapp singers, Kev on stage. Oh, really? John Gray, Mike Epps, Tony Baker, D.L. Hughley. You can currently catch you playing the role of Deacon Charles in the Spring Hill and Kevin on Stage Studios produced sitcom Churchy. Oh, I love that. Found on the BT and is the morning, and you're on in the morning Facebook Live show. See you in the morning. Boy, Cletus, what haven't you done?
Oh man, run for president yet? I'm thinking about it though, man. Because of I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people don't like the current president, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. One thing he tells you is that anybody can do anything. If you ever
Oh,
felt like you can't accomplish or you're not qualified, look at what we got sitting in the White House. I'll tell you anything. If Flavor Flav can be a sex symbol and Donald Trump can be president, there is room for me anywhere.
Donald Trump is one of a true. You ever heard of a true player? He's the true comedian. He's one of the ones that make you laugh, and you don't want to laugh at him, but
No,
he
no.
gonna do something. He gonna do
It's a
something.
difference between being laughed at and being laughed with. And so
Yes.
most of the time he's being laughed at, not with.
Wow, Cletus, what made you go into comedy?
Needed a job. No, I was like, ooh, I can get money with this. It is, I think that there are certain points in time in life where you just realize you end up being what your God ordained thing is. I know people always say, they always be like, order my steps. People like tell the Lord, please order my steps, order my steps. Here's the real thing though. Your steps are always ordered. Like he's already got your steps. He knows the hairs on your head before you're born, all these things. So he
Yeah.
knows the path that you're supposed to walk. A lot of times you just need to ask him to let me walk in the steps that you've already ordered. Right. And I
Yes.
think that when you're able to do that, then you can live a more fulfilled life. You really start seeing yourself blossom and do things that you're supposed to do. So the comedy thing was nothing that I ever attempted to do. I went to the Norfolk State University, man. Behold the green and gold, greatest university in the history of universities. I went there and I was a PE major
Whoa.
because all I wanted to do was make kids do push-ups. I looked over life. I was like, oh man, I got to get a job. Like as an adult, you're supposed to get a job. My mom was an educator. And so I was like, oh, you have to have a job. Well, I was like, well, who has a job but doesn't really work?
Uh,
And I was like, oh, my PE teacher. I've never seen a PE teacher be like, oh my God, I had such a rough day at work. I was like, I get my summers off. I'll be in the
yes.
gym. I love sports. That's my thing. I love coaching. So I was like, man, PE is perfect. But while I was there in Norfolk State, man, just kind of my personality, what I do, they asked me to host a lot of events. I was president of the student ambassadors. So I gave tours to the
Wow.
students when they came to prospective students when they came to the school. And I ended up hosting a lot of events. During one of the events I was hosting, somebody asked me, hey, man, did you ever think about doing radio? I was like, no, but I mean, why not? And so from that point, I started doing radio at WNSB 91.1 FM, which is Norfolk State's radio station. Myself, a young man by the name of Phil Thornton, who was like now just a entertainment mogul, a young lady named Candy Sawyer. We were instrumental in changing that station from a jazz station to its current format.
Yes.
Yep. So we were the first show on every all day, 23 and a half hours, no, 23, 21 hours a day. They played jazz. It was a 3 hour period where we came in with hip hop and R&B. So you could definitely go from Kenny G to Mystical in seconds. And so we started that. And from that point in time, man, I just started finding myself in different positions in entertainment.
Yeah, Cletus, I know it's a gift, a gift. But can people learn how to be a comedian without, just being born with it, with that thing?
It, so I'm gonna say this without trying to, upset a lot of comedy clubs and stuff. They have comedy classes all the time, man. There's a lot of comedy
Really?
clubs that run comedy classes. You can go and take the class. Um, so you can learn some of it's a gift, but it's also a skill. There are things that you have to know about it. Like I recently did a workshop on comedy for some people to come through, and I think when I did it, they learned a lot about the genre of comedy. A lot of times you're either funny or you're not. Like you don't, but everybody's funny ain't everybody's funny. What's funny to
Absolutely.
you may be horrible to another person, and what you think is horrible is just not. So there's physical comedy, there's blue comedy, there's black comedy, there is all kinds of comedy, rhetorical, situational. So it just depends on what genre. Comedies are much like music,
Yes.
depending on what type of music you like. So yeah, you can learn it, but usually the best are already gifted with it.
Wow. Do you feel like comedians are becoming a little more political? I mean, it's fun, it's laughter, but they do, you all do sometimes get in that serious vein where, you want to make a statement about something that you believe in or something that's going on in the political world that you want to, you know, talk about.
I think one of the things about comedy, man, is that comedians get to take the mask off of of life, right? And we're able to present life to people in a way that they can digest it a lot easier and they can laugh at it. So there's always been politics in comedy, no matter how far back
Yes.
you go. At one point in time, where we started comedy clubs in this country was during Prohibition, and they would put the comedians up before they put the lounge singers up. It was just a way to kind of keep people warm. So you would be in a hole in the wall place, a speakeasy doing comedy. But if you start looking at the Richard Pryors, the
Oh, yeah.
George Carlin, um, I want Dick Gregory. There's been so many amazing comedians
Yes.
who were political. So it's always been there. We've always been able to shine it. And because of the way that our voice is set up, we're able to tell you you're ugly and make it look pretty. So we can talk about what's ugly and people agree. A lot of times what people love about me is they say, man, you say all the stuff that I was thinking, but I couldn't say. So I can say the stuff that a lot of times they can. So comedians can say that vastly for what's going on in society.
Sometimes comedians have a way about it physically. I mean, the way they do, with their gestures. There's some that I've seen that just looking at them are just absolutely funny. Is that something that is practiced, or is that one of those natural things that come along? You just look funny. You just,
That's normal. Well, first of all,
just in
I've
a
always
funny
I've
way.
always looked funny. That's been my thing. That's why I was in radio so long because I look funny. But physical comedy is something that a lot of people learn. Arnez J is to me is one of the greatest physical comics that we have.
Yes,
And that is something that he just kind of realized he had that knack. He was able to do. He practiced it, of course, and
yes,
got better at it. But that's something that he does. Jim Carrey is amazing with his physical. Like Jim
absolutely.
Carrey's physical comedy is what he does. So that's an aspect that a lot of people have. But I that's not my thing. However, you have to learn a lot of what people learn in public speaking. So a lot of times, even in to bring a point across, some of the physical gestures that you make are important on stage. Now, I'm not necessarily just a physical comedian,
Yeah,
but I do have jokes that require a physical element to bring it all home. So you want to do whatever you can to make the crowd or your audience really immerse themselves in what you're saying.
absolutely. Look, we're going to be talking about comedy a little bit more. a little bit later when we find out what you're doing and where you're going and how we can see you. But we have a topic on today, and I wanted to get into that. We're going to talk about marriage, the married man, and his experience. Let me ask you this question before we get into the topic. Do you bring comedy into the marriage? And I ask because I've talked to comedians who, family or wife or children say, "I'm off limits." How do you put them together, Cletus?
Oh no, they gotta go, man. Like it's my comedy is about my life, and so that my life is that. I think there's a level of discernment that you have to have. You can't go out putting out all of the personal business of your wife or your kids or things of that nature. So I have jokes about my wife. I got jokes about my kids that I do. I think it's good because I do my life. All my stuff is experience based. I'm a storyteller, and it's personally based. So, and my wife had to have a sense of humor because she married me. So it was crazy. Like my wedding was hilarious. Like we
Oh,
had a ball. Bishop Kim Brown from the Mount, already a witty guy himself.
yes.
He officiated the wedding, so he and I joked back and forth while we were on the stage. It was just a great time, man. And I think that laughter is one of the key elements that can keep a relationship strong, right? If y'all not laughing together, if you're laughing together, you're smiling. If you're not smiling, you're laughing. One of the two. And if you can do that, if you can find joy, regardless of what the situation is, man, if you can find that in each other and in the situation that you're in, I think that you become a lot stronger.
Absolutely. Let's talk about marriage. Cletus, do men sit back and say, when they're young, little boys, and say, I want to get married? Now, I'm asking because women do that. Young girls do that. We sit back and we say, one day I want to be married. I want to have so many children. This is my dream, this, that, and the other. Is that the same way with you guys?
No, no, absolutely not. I mean, I so again, before we get into, I'm not a marriage expert. I got 370 days of marriage in me. That's all I got. 370 days. So don't look at me as being the
Truly.
person that knows. Yeah, this thing is new. It's still got the tags on it. Um,
Yes.
I got to remind my wife all the time that she can't send me back. But I'm like this thing is great. So what I will say is that boys don't grow up thinking, oh, I can't wait to get married. Like boys grow up be like, I can't wait to play in the NFL. I can't wait to play in the NBA. I don't do that. Even the traditional structure, especially when we start talking about culturally, when we start talking about even with black men and young men and black boys, like we're not taught to even look for monogamy.
Uh,
Like black young men, black boys are told, hey, listen, go get as many as you can. Right? Listen, the
yeah.
more women you get, the better you are. The more your stature grows, the more you're looked at. It's not until really that you get a little bit older, and of course, there's always exceptions to every rule, but it's not generally until a man gets older that he realizes, like, man, look, I ain't got time for that hustle and bustle, man. Let me get one that is going that keep me straight. I got a homeboy that say all the time, he always calls the wife his old lady. He be like, man, you get that old lady gonna get you right. You ain't gonna be right till you get that old lady. And so you
Wow.
got to get to there's a level of mental maturity that men have to develop before they really decide that marriage is what they want to do. Like you say, women dream of it. They
Yes.
they already know what wedding dress they want. They know their colors. They know their venue. How many people gonna be in the wedding? How many inches the heels are? They know the number of carats in their ring. Like they
Yes.
know. Girls know that from like 3. I don't even know. They get off the bottle practicing
So
how to
true.
say their first words are not mama or daddy. They are I do. So you gotta know that they do it.
We
And
ready.
and
We
that
are
standard is
ready.
just different. The standard is just different. Like you don't really see like you see women all the time longing for that. And it's what's crazy is that a lot of times women stay in bad relationships because they feel as though their value is determined by whether they are a wife and a mother.
Absolutely.
That those are
Absolutely.
the two things that women usually see themselves valued as. Now, a lot of that is because of misogyny and things that years and years and years ago, that's all women could be. So that's
Yes.
what women really found their value in. And now that women can be the CEO of a company and all these things, like now some of that mindset has shifted, but there's still a lot of women, even when they've reached the heights of their
Yeah.
professionalism, they made all the money in the world, there's still a part of them that does not feel complete if they're not a wife and a mother. Guys don't think that. They'll roll single forever.
Let's talk about the vows. Vows. They're tailor made. But I just heard you say that you all had a great time doing your wedding, and it's new, it's fresh. Compared to back in the day with the vows, did you all still say that for better, for worse, rich or poor, death do us part? That
We
night.
did. And you know what made me mad though, Yolanda? Is
What?
they took out honor and obey. That's the one that I wanted
I'm
in
about
there.
to.
I tell my wife that all the time. I say, this is why she act the way she act now, because we took honor and obey. Who took honor and obey? She was talking, you must be talking about the food seasoning when you say obey. I said, I did not say old bay. I said to honor and obey. And I kept waiting on the pastor to hit me with that one. He didn't hit me, but we hit all the rest of them. They need
Ooh,
sickness and health, richer and poor, better or worse. And I was like, hit me with honor and obey. Hit her with it. Hit her with
okay.
honor. They took that out.
So
Uh,
new school women would probably say, "Yeah, we'll keep the honor." But why would somebody draw back on the obey part? What do you think? It's
what is wrong with y'all? That's why your grandmama was married 97 consecutive years and she honored and obeyed. Now y'all out here hard headed and getting divorced after a year and a half.
Ooh,
I I think that I think again, just the mindset of women has changed a lot. I've never been a woman, so I have no idea, right? But when we just look at traditionally, like even when we start talking about gender roles and things of that nature, and it goes both ways.
yes,
But because women have been given more power, some of the misogyny and the matriarchal structure of how society is set up is breaking down, and women are able to do amazing things that they were
yes,
never able to do. No, we haven't had a woman as president yet, but we never even gotten that close as a
I
woman being able to
know.
run for president, right?
Yes,
So we're starting to break down a lot of barriers and walls. There is no ceiling for women anymore. So now women are like, dog, just because you're a man, like, listen, your birth gender. Look, matter of fact, we at a point now where you don't even have to stay what you were born. Like people are like,
yes.
you become whatever you want to be. So by the time I'm 50, I'm gonna just identify as a cow. I'm gonna be like, listen, are you a man or a woman?
I'm
I'm gonna
not
be
an
like,
alien.
moo, right? I like so. But women now have gotten to a point where they're saying no, and so that independent woman thing is so big,
Yes.
especially when you get to women of a certain age,
Oh yeah.
right? If you've made it to a certain point, and I'll use 40 as a cutoff. It's really probably around 35, 30. But if you've made it to a certain point and you've gotten you got your own car, your own house, your own this, what is somebody gonna come in and tell you to do when you've been
Yes.
calling your own shots for all this time and doing well? So a lot of that obey, they be like, they take that back. But the obey part is not necessarily of I tell you to do this and you do it. Like even like the obey is really just whatever the standard is for your relationship.
Yes.
I'm going to stick to that standard. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? If you be
Yes.
like, listen, my husband ain't really big on me out twerking in public, I'm not gonna twerk in public. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if everything in you is ready to twerk, you like, that's a form of obeying. Your husband's not even really there, he's not saying it, but it's really just honoring the rules and regulations that you all have set up for your relationship. And it goes the same way for the man. Obey your wife. Like your wife don't want you doing certain things, you
Yes.
shouldn't be doing them. You just shouldn't.
Absolutely. What about this cliche, the man wears the pants? Do that kind of like, is that in the same vein you just finished talking about?
They're making pants in the men's and women's section now.
That's
So
what I'm saying. But that
it's
was the
not there.
thing. That was the
So
thing. Man wears the pants in the family. What does that mean?
So Yolanda, I think that comes down to again the matriarchal structure that we've set up, especially in this society. I'm still a firm believer. Look, I didn't have a dad in the home growing up, so I had no idea. My mama had to have pants, or just nobody was gonna be wearing pants. Period.
Yeah. Yes.
But I still think that my biggest example in marriage was my grandfather. So my grandfather was definitely a man who wore the pants in the house, like it was his house to him. Now, everybody under us, we called it my grandma's house. Like we never called it my granddaddy's house. We always be like, we're going to my grandmama's house, big mama's house, because that's who loved you. But my
Mhm.
granddaddy definitely set the rules, the standards, and my grandmother enforced them. One of the big things in my life, the reason right now that I love moon pies was because I wasn't allowed to have moon pies growing up. My granddad worked at a
Oh,
shipyard for 10,000 years, and my grandma made him lunch every day, and she was gonna put a moon pie in his lunch, and we were not allowed to touch my grandfather's moon pies. She put them up in the top of the cabinet. She hid them, like we knew that was the standard. And for me, I was like, oh, I want to be a grown up to be able to eat moon pies like that. I'm gonna have moon pies in my house. There's gonna be something in my house that can't
you
nobody
gonna have
touch.
those moon pies.
My granddad did that. My granddad got big piece of chicken, like all of those things. And so, but there was a responsibility on the man's part. He earned that right. My
Yes.
granddad went to work every day. He ain't never missed no day. He ain't never take no sick days. When it was time for him to retire, he was like most old guys were at that time. Like they retire and they be like, hey, you know, you got 4 years of sick leave before we can let you retire. So he was off for like
Ooh,
2 years just
yes.
using the sick leave because he never took a day off work. He never failed to provide. He never
Amazing.
let the lights be cut off. He never let none of those. He earned that right to be the head of the household. And so that's the whole thing now when they talk about the man wearing the pants. And I think that sets the structure for the whole family. So
Absolutely.
you should be wearing the pants, but you got to have the legs.
Ooh, let's talk about the role of a husband. When you decided to get married, did you think
Mhm.
about that? This, what is my responsibility? What is my role? What do I have to do? How did you kind of like bring it together in your head? Uh, what exactly your duties are as a
So
husband?
again, like I said, so what's really funny is I'm trying to think on both sides of my family, my mom's side and my dad's side. I never had examples of healthy marriages. Like my mom was divorced. All my aunts and uncles, except one, are divorced. Like
Mm,
nobody has ever had a relationship that lasted, right?
yes.
So I didn't see it there. But what I was able to do was I've got lots of friends. My good friend of mine, Bernard Hines, man, I'm able to talk to Bernard a lot about marriage. And he had to do it the hard way. He was like, listen, this is my third one. I finally figured it out. My pastor, I got another friend, Pastor Sharon Richardson up in New Jersey, who just wrote a book about healthy marriages. And so, like talking to him, so I was able to get advice and learn from them. But the biggest thing for me was the communication with my wife
Uh-huh.
and wanting to be a provider. Like that's my thing. Like I'm a provider and a protector.
Mhm.
So like
Yes.
if I can do those two things, and if everything goes back to those two things, is me doing this, providing and protecting for my family? No, then I don't need to do it. Does it
Ooh.
go back to my two core values? Yes, then we can go with that. So those are the two things that I thought about in marriage. But marriage is something that you really can't put your finger around until you in it.
Ooh, that's
Like
good.
there's so much we learn about it, like every day. Like we've learned, have tough discussions, and then when you have them, you got to learn from those discussions. You got to learn how to deal with arguments. You got to learn how to be like, hey, you got to learn that you can't leave because they got on your nerves. Like no
Yes.
matter, like ladies, you be like, you know what, I'm out, and be like, okay, all I did was leave my shoes out.
You
You got to
go.
figure out what you can and can't accept. Like
Yes.
my wife and I's biggest argument, like it's so funny. My wife, I tell people all the time, my wife doesn't fuss. She mentions. My wife, she's
How
not.
does that work?
She doesn't fuss. She mentions. So she'll
Oh,
just walk in the room. She's like, trash ain't out. She ain't gonna be like, get in there and take that trash out. She's like, that's crazy. She'll walk by the kitchen. She'll be like, that's crazy. That trash is still there. Like she don't fuss. She mentions. Like, and so
I like
um
it.
but that's how she, got the point to me because but what she realizes is that I'm a person that shuts down if you fuss at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she
Men
come in
are
there,
like
why
that.
you ain't took
Yeah.
that trash out? And I'm like, because I ain't got to. I'm a grown man. I ain't gonna do nothing. And so now the trash ain't never been taken out. But if you just
Ooh.
remind me that the trash needs to be taken out, like she learned how to communicate with me, so that's important. But you learn different things every day. Every day. One of the biggest things that we have is with our laundry room. She
Yes.
made me go get a new house. She kept mentioning we were in the house before. She kept mentioning if I had more room, if I had more room. All right,
Yes.
cool. So now we
Yes.
get a new house. First time in my whole life, like I never grew up with money. I was affluent. I was never affluent. I never had a laundry room before. I don't know how
Uh-huh.
they operate. I had no idea how they work. Like, what did they do? You just go in there. There's a washer here. There's a dryer here. What do you do? I just figure you throw all the clothes in there, and magically the
Yes,
clothes come up clean. Like, so like we had to go over. She's like, you gotta have. She wants to have like 25. If you let my wife have her dithers, we had 35 hampers in this house. She's like, here's a
wow.
sock hamper, here's an underwear hamper, here's a top. Like she will put everything in a hamper, and I'm like, I throw everything in one hamper. I
Wow.
grew up as especially when I was single. I threw everything. The before I married my wife, I didn't even have a clothes hamper. When the clothes were dirty, you take your clothes off and you just throw them in the wash machine.
In the washing machine.
From there to the wash machine, everything in there. And then when that fills up, you wash and you good to go. My son grew up the same way. He was like, hey man, look, my dad do it, I'm gonna do it. Like let's do this. So it's just when you have those two lives and you have to bring
Yes.
two and you got to make them this,
Yes.
you got to make sure because if I'm here and if I'm these are spread and this is here, you can't it won't connect.
Yes.
So you got to learn. I got to give a little. You got to come in a little bit. We got to make these things work in order for it to blend. And so that's what we're doing now.
Well, Cletus, did you have a conversation like, okay, this is what we're gonna do when we get married? I know she has her side, but as a husband, did you say, okay, this is how I feel about this, this, this. This is how we're gonna do money. This is how we're gonna, this is where we're gonna live. Did you have that conversation before time of about how things would play out from your point of view?
On a lot of the larger things, we did have conversations about it. Some of the smaller things you don't know until you get there.
Oh
Like
yeah.
some of the smaller things you don't know until you get there. And then what did it say? I tell God my plans and he laughs. Like sometimes you be like, these are what
Yeah.
my plans are, and she laughs. Like, so I think that we have a lot of things on a larger scale. So because of how my career is and what I do, there's no telling when I'm gonna have to go move to LA or move to New York or whatever.
Yes.
So I've had those discussions with her. I'm like, hey, are you cool with living away from your family? And she was like, oh, like let's go. Like
Yeah.
she works remotely. She was like, all I need is internet. We can go live anywhere.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
so I don't care.
motivating.
So
Wow.
so that works. Like we're perfect for that. She's like, whenever you gotta go do 2 weeks in LA, we're doing 2 weeks in LA.
You're
Because I'm
gonna
packing my computer and I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
so those were the large scale things that we discussed. She gave me her non-negotiables, things that she don't do. She was like, listen, if you're looking for somebody that cooks, I ain't cooking.
Who
But
don't
I was like,
cook?
but I enjoy cooking.
Who,
So I
you
like
cook?
to cook. She doesn't. Yeah, I do most of
Okay.
the cooking.
Okay.
I do most of the cooking. Now she's gotten this thing now where she bakes all the time, but I do most of the cooking. So she gave me her non-negotiables. These are the things that
Okay.
are non-negotiable, and the rest of the little things we kind of figured out as we're going along. Um, but I think one of the biggest problems that marriages have is that people don't take time before they get married to learn the other person.
Truly.
So
Truly.
before we got married, I knew she only liked red gummy bears. She only eats Skittles one at a time. Like these are things that I knew going in. So these weren't shocks to my system when I married her. Like a lot of
Yes.
people marry people and you married a stranger.
Yeah.
You end up
But
living with somebody
yeah,
that you had no idea who they were. You was
who
like,
they
man,
were. You
I
knew them
ain't
from the
know.
physical. You knew what you see, but
He's all you know what you
by
saw,
heart, you
you
got to
knew
learn
some
by
surface
heart.
stuff, you
Hmm.
know, and you know when people are dating, man, dating is nothing but a long job interview. So a lot of times when you dating people, they not really showing you the real them. They coming in there, they like a lot of women are getting super dressed up. You only
Yes.
see them in their makeup, you only see them in their
Yes.
best outfit. You gotta see them in a moo and no out, you know what I'm saying? Take them swimming, throw her in a pool real quick, like with no just
Woo!
leave her in there. Blah.
Let us. That's right. See her in the light of day, as they say, how she really
See
is.
what medications they taking.
Oh,
A, a
everything.
lot of times you met that man after he done took his meds. Medicated me is completely different. Medicated
Very
me makes sense.
true.
Check out unmedicated me at 9:37 p.m.
What do you say? You got to be able to be able to live with that.
You
Well,
gotta you gotta know
yes,
gastrointestinal.
that's the
What
truth.
if he passing gas all the time? Can you make it?
Can you live with that?
Can you live with that?
Cletus, did you say? How did you? What did you say to yourself? This is the one. How do you know? How does a man know when that's the one?
Um, I think for me personally, I've been dumped hundreds of times. Um, hundreds. I think for me it was the peace that she brought me.
Oh,
And so I think that's what every man goes for. Like every man goes for that peace. Is there a peace that she brings you? Because especially, and I don't want to be racial because again, I've never been a white man, so I don't know what a white man's life is. But I do know as a black man, like every time you walk out that door, there are certain things that you're gonna have to fight. There's a lot of fights every time you
Amen.
walk out that door. So the one thing that you don't want to do is have to fight when you walk back in the house. Like, can
Yes.
I come in the house and just be at peace? So, my wife and I, man, like we just came back. We just had a year, like I said. So July 31st was a year for us. So I took her on a cruise for our
Oh,
anniversary. And for me, it was the fact that I was just able to just chill with her. Like it was okay. It didn't matter that it was 3,000 people on the boat. Like all that
yes.
mattered was that this other person was here. So as long as she was here, I was good. So
Wow.
once you get that peace, once you find somebody that brings you that peace, you be like, yeah, this is it right here. Because the
Oh,
physical stuff comes and goes.
absolutely.
Men ain't that bright. Like men ain't that bright. You listen. You put a butt in the face, and we know no better.
All that.
But but that fades. That fake gravity starts to take over, man. Things change. Can she bring you peace?
Oh, that is marvelous. Let's talk about faith then. I heard you mention your church and your pastor, Kim Brown. Faith. Can you be on the same page or can you be opposite? Can you be one faith and you believe in this and that? And how does that work? How do you all come together when it comes to what you believe in?
I'm not a person that says you can't. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a person that says that you can't. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that. Of course, listen. So let me give it to you before you have any Christian people that just go and they throw stuff and start throwing holy water on their computers and phones. My belief is that you should be equally yoked. Absolutely. You
Yes.
should both have the same belief system. However, I still believe that God is strong enough that even if you have two different belief systems, if you choose to be together, I've seen people who have been like, I was Christian and they were Muslim, and they were around me enough in my Christianity that they converted over to Christianity, right?
Yes.
So I've seen that. I think that you have to do what works best for you. I'll never say it can't work. I
Mm-hmm.
still feel like it's best because if you all have the same values and y'all align the same way, a lot of times y'all are going to think on the same wavelength, especially when you start talking about big things. When you start
Yes.
talking about big things,
Yes.
you're gonna think the same way. It can even be something as small as diet. Like if I'm out here and I'm a Christian and you a Muslim, dog, I'm waking up every morning and I'm wanting bacon.
Yes.
And you like, no, ain't this is a no pork house. Like, how are we getting along? I can't live. I need it. So those are the little things. Now they may acquiesce to your feelings and be like, I'll make you bacon, even though I have a shellfish allergy. I can't eat shrimp,
Oh,
shellfish.
wow.
But my wife the other day was like, hey man, can you go grill me some shrimp? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I went and grilled shrimp. Even though I can't taste it, I can't
Yeah.
partake of it, I'll still do that for
You
her.
do it.
So I think the religious purists will want me to be like, you better say ain't no way two people could be alive that they don't serve the same God. I'm not saying that there's no way, but I do think probably the best way is for the two of you to be aligned.
Tell us about the husband club. How you like being in the husband's club, and what do you homies talk about now? Look, there's
Yeah, I
certain
can't
men.
tell you what we talk about, man. That's
Tell me some
rule number
things,
rule number
Cleveland.
one. You're not gonna get me put out, man.
Come on
I ain't
now.
been in but 370 days. You ain't gonna get me
Look,
put
Steve
out.
Harvey told us a whole lot of stuff about the men's club,
Well, first of all, don't listen to
and the
Steve
men
Harvey
got mad at him. Tell us a
as
little
we
bit
as we
about the
should. Because here's the thing, Steve had already been through 14 failed marriages and all of this kind of stuff, man. He had nothing to lose at that point. Steve, we had already kind of put Steve out. So Steve was looking for anybody. First of all, out of anything, I'll say this: Steve Harvey is a fantastic comedian. One thing that I know about Steve's a marketing genius. So Steve
Yes.
knows how to make people listen to him. And so he was like, "Let me put these secrets out," and people listen.
And he did.
And people listen.
Woo!
Um, my thing about being in the husband club, here's what's fun about the husband club is nobody in the husband club tells you what's going on until you get in.
Are you
Like
serious?
here's a whole bunch of husbands. They all know this information. You get ready to go down the aisle, they don't tell you none of this stuff. Then
Yes.
once you get in, they be like, man, brother, I could have told you that, man. You're experiencing this now, ain't you? But it's so much fun.
Yes.
I've enjoyed having the relatability of being able to talk to a lot of different husbands. it's also opened up a lot of opportunities. Because believe it or not, a lot of women do not like they married husbands hanging with their single friends.
That's true.
They be like, no, we're not doing that because
That's
we
true.
asking for problems. So a lot of times they don't roll like that. So I've been able to open up and be with a lot of my friends. I can be like, "Hey, man, we can hang out now." It's like, nah, you can come outside. So yeah, so it's cool.
That
So
is
I love it, man. The club is dope, but we can't give out the secrets. I can't let you know.
that's a shame. We see ladies. I thought we was gonna get some stuff out of
No,
it.
y'all ain't breaking me down. I might be new, but I'm true. I'm not falling for that one.
Because we were so excited when Steve Harvey put it down on the line about you guys. Not that we didn't know a lot of stuff, but he revealed some secrets. Just like you said, he revealed
No, Steve was
secrets.
out there putting out stuff. We like, you gave him the map. I don't know what Steve was doing. I don't know, but Steve just gave up at that point in time. He was like, listen, I got to get out here, man. I'm on my 38th marriage, man. Listen, I got to figure this thing out. My daughter is dating the entire world. I'm gonna just put all of it out there, man. So Steve Harvey made like, again, but the key to Steve Harvey is one of the things that Steve Harvey is great at doing is promoting Steve Harvey. So he did a fantastic job of that. And he got y'all listening. Y'all was out there buying his books. This is how crazy it is to me about the Steve Harvey thing. Y'all were going to Steve Harvey for marriage advice when Steve was on his 97th marriage. Like, how many times do you like he clearly this is not something he's good at.
Oh
Clearly,
my
clearly
God.
marriage is not his thing. But y'all were going to him. The person that I want to go to marriage advice to is the person that's been married one time and they've been married for
Successful.
87 years.
Oh my goodness, successfully.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Steve. They know what to do. Steve has no idea what a successful marriage is. All you can do is be like the ones I'm not in.
yes. You know, how do you champion your partner as a husband? You know, support decisions and things like that, career. Um, do you look at that and say, "Oh, you really inspire me. I lift you up. All the things that you're doing." Is that things that husbands do?
Oh, without question. So for me, it has to be on a even on the next level. I tell everybody, my wife's my biggest fan. She'll go to me every show. She'll be sitting right in the front row.
Yeah.
If it's a joke she's heard 1,000 times, she will laugh at it like she's never heard it. Now she keeps saying, "Well, it's still funny," and I'd be like, "All right, cool." So I have to reciprocate that, right? I
Yeah.
have to reciprocate that. You have to be, I think, in any relationship like that, you have to be thoughtful of the sacrifices that your spouse makes for you. You have to be willing to make those same sacrifices. So as
Absolutely.
far as like I'm concerned, my wife is Tina Turner. She's a private dancer. My wife is into line dance. She does line dance
Oh,
instruction. She
yes.
teaches it all over the place. I have to be like, okay, let me pour into that. Like I have to support her. If she's doing line dancing, you see me do stuff. I mix music for her. I'll go do videos for her. I don't necessarily go to all the line dance and
Yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm free to give her space to go do what she does without complaining about it. Right? I'd be
Absolutely.
like, hey, listen, I have to love the fact that if I gotta go record, you don't have a problem with me being gone. I can't be gone because you're doing what you love. I'm supporting her. Thank for her birthday, I bought her new speakers so that she can have speakers for her class. Like
Yes.
whatever I need to do, that's how I pour into her because she would do the same for me. And so that's what you have to be cognizant of. So I think it's very, very important
Yeah.
for the husband to be the supporter. If I gotta just sit there have been times where they've had events and I just sat at the door to be security to make sure
Oh
won't nothing get
wow.
ready to jump off.
Yes.
Like this
Absolutely.
is what you need to do. You got to do all of those things.
Do
You
you
got to.
try your jokes out on your wife? Like, say, "Look, babe, listen to this. I got this." And does she give you feedback? Like,
I
"Hey,
don't.
oh,
Because first of all, she ain't no comedian. She couldn't tell me what to say anyway. And second, I don't even operate like that, man. A lot of times, like people talk about it being a gift. A lot of stuff that I get, a lot of the jokes that I get, stuff that I get, it's just God drops it on me. So like a lot of stuff, it just happens, and I'm like,
wow,
yo, that's crazy. And then I learned it. So I'm completely different. I always tell like young comics that are coming up that they need to write their material, but I don't write. Like you can't come in here and
wow."
find a book where I've been writing stuff. It's in here. It's life experience. I kind of go over it. I think it. So much is happening in my brain,
Yeah.
and it just comes out. So a lot of times when she hears it, it's the first time she's ever heard it. Now what she can do as a wife, which is crazy, is always supportive. If she tells me I really like that one,
Oh,
that's one I'm gonna keep. It's like, oh, okay, I know
absolutely.
I'm gonna say that. Just like I think one time she told me I look good when I was wearing white. I think I've got so much white in my
Oh,
closet now
wow.
because she said I look good wearing white. I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna have white on all the time. So that's how wives can encourage even little things.
Yeah. Cletus, the Cletus single compared to the married Cletus, what's the difference besides just being married? What's the difference?
Oh man, that's the first time I've been asked that because it's only been 370 days. I think your priorities change. So because of the stage at which I got married, so I think of course marriage also depends on the stage of your life when you get married.
Yeah.
People who get married at 20, 21 and they build up, I think that's different. Married me has had to learn more about sharing space.
Wow.
Because I grew up an only child, so I never had to
Really?
share anything. Yeah, it was just me and my mom. So I'm used to quiet. I'm used to not having to share my space. I'm used to if I leave something somewhere, it's gonna be there again. One of the
Mm,
things you learn when you marry as a man, you leave something there. There's a 97% chance it's
true.
gonna be gone because that's not
Yes.
where she thinks it belongs.
Yes.
Um, so that's big for me. And she brought me a lot more focus. I was already a father, so I
Yeah.
was already focused on that. But she's got grandkids, so we have grandchildren. So
Oh,
that even made me had to think about being, a pop off the top.
with the top.
So how to deal with that. There's so many little teeny things that you have to be. So I'm more cognizant of someone else. That's what it is. I think when I was single, my life was just me, like boom,
Uh-huh.
boom, boom.
Mhm.
And so it changed again when I became a father, because then I had to be like, okay, now I can't just think about that. I had to think about my kids. Then when I became a husband, I was like, oh, I got to keep her on the forefront. I can't
Mm,
even just come home. Like if I go out to the gym or whatever,
yeah.
I can't just come home. I got to call and be like, hey, I'm on my way home. Do you
I
need
love
anything?
that.
That's a small thing that you do, but I got to do it every time. And
Sounds
what's so crazy is she reciprocates that. So
oh
when
wow.
she's out and she knows I'm at the house, she's like, hey, I'm on my way home. Do you need anything?
That
It's
is
it's it's cool.
so beautiful. Cletus, tell us what you're gonna be doing. Anything coming up? You wanna talk about anybody you wanna shout out?
Oh man, no, I don't like people, so there, that's that.
You hate right.
My wife calls me all the time the most extroverted introvert she has ever met. 'Cause I'm not a big. We got to find a different word for what I am as a person. I
Yeah.
don't. But I don't like being around people. Like it's funny. I would rather be by myself, but it's cool. Um, Let me see. Coming up, the biggest thing that I have coming up, man, for Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. That's in January.
Yes.
I'm going to be the host of the Rise and Rhythm cruise. I'm going out of
Yes.
Miami. It's going to be featuring 4 days out on the sea, but
Oh
it's an
wow.
amazing cruise.
Yeah.
Last year I did it, and last year they had Kirk Franklin, Jonathan
Oh
McReynolds,
wow.
David and Tamla Mann, Kiera Sheard, a host of artists. This
Nice.
year, same kind of thing they had, but they've done a mixture of both R&B and gospel artists. So you got Mary, you got Kim, you got
What?
Shirley Caesar.
Oh
They got King George, who's a line dance
yes.
sensation. They've got so many artists, and so I'm officially the host of that this year. So that's the biggest thing that I have on the horizon right now. I'm negotiating. We're trying to figure out how to put two tours together for 2027. So we're gonna try to figure that out.
Yeah.
Um, a big for me because I've always been a part of someone else's tour. So now we're trying to figure out like,
Your
oh, it's
own
time for me to
thing.
step out and do my own.
Yes.
So those things are scary, but still like, yo, let's do it. Like I love the challenge of it. So those are the things that are going on for the next year. But those are the two biggest things. Like
Wow.
20, like I'm winding down whatever year this is. Was this 2026? So we're at
2026.
month 8. My calendar, like I look like just blessed, man. Like I looked at my calendar for the rest of the year, and it's like it's booked. Like if people are trying to hit me, I'm like, yo, I'm done. Like we're getting, and I'm starting to get a lot of emails for 2027. Like, yo, can we get stuff done in 2027? So that's amazing. So this year is pretty much done. I'm just gearing up for 2027, man, and
Wow.
that cruise starts it off the way that it's got to be started. But I do have a monthly room at a place called Tailored Smoke Cigar Lounge in Newport News.
Oh, it's
So
here. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
The Saints can get over it. It's all right if y'all don't smoke. It's a non-smoking section.
Yeah.
But that's the last Wednesday of every month. I bring in a couple of comics. Usually it ends up being maybe 4 or 5 comics and myself. And we get
Okay.
out there, we just have a good time, man. I get to go and just be free. It's very relaxed. It's a fun time. So you can always check my page. You can find
Yes.
me on all forms of social medias at Cletus Comedy, CLETUS Comedy. If I got to spell comedy, don't follow me. If if you don't know how to spell comedy, that's on you. But it's also right there, so you can see it.
Wow.
So yeah, so all of those things, man. So I'm really excited about a lot of the things that are going on, man. My daughter's in her senior year of college, so that's
Oh,
great. My son's
beautiful.
a sophomore in high school. I'm coaching football at his school, so there's just baseball and basketball. I'm coaching a lot of his schools. So I just got a lot going on, man. I
It
do a lot.
sounds so good. Sound like your life is just playing out just really, really
Yeah,
well.
I couldn't have planned it. And what's amazing to me is I love when people who knew me from back then, because you know a lot of people try to put you in the box of you being what you were when they met you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or they don't think that your book continue past the page that they met you on.
Yes.
So I love when people see me in a different chapter and different pages,
Wow.
man. And so I personally like seeing the evolution of me from young me to right now. So that's been cool. So that's great. I enjoy that.
That's marvelous. We want to applaud you for that. Ladies, thank you
You
so
better
much
have a
for
clap
being
button.
on.
I'm gonna get me one of those just to have
Get you
around me, man. Yeah,
one.
I'll just have me on my own little clap button. You just be
Look,
like,
we got our laugh button too.
yeah, that was a good one. That's a good button.
So look, Cletus, thank you so much for being on. I tell
They
you
won't
what, we're
stop
gonna
laughing
keep.
though.
Yeah, stop laughing, y'all. We're gonna keep up with.
They are disobedient. There they
I
go.
tell you, we're gonna just keep up with what you're doing. If you have a flyer or anything from time to time, send it to me so I can post it and announce it on our some of our shows around the town shows and things like that. But thank you so much for being on and
Absolutely.
being.
Thank you. So your house is amazing, man. It ain't look like a backdrop. That I love it, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna steal
Wow.
a picture of the background of your house, man, so I can have that in the background, man. That's all right.
Love
You got
it.
all that natural light going through there. That's
It's
all
so
right.
much light in this house. That's the reason why we built it. It is just light everywhere, and that's what I love about it. I really do.
Yeah, all that
Cletus,
natural light. That's all right, man. You can't walk around there naked. Everybody
you
gonna see
sure
it.
you really can't go upstairs in the balcony. You can't do that.
Not in
Nope.
the balcony. Come on
Yep.
now.
Yep. You
The
better not
small
go up there.
flex.
You
The
better not
go
go up there
upstairs in the
naked.
balcony.
Cletus, thank you.
Thank you.
Be
Thank you for
blessed.
having me.
Love to your beautiful bride, and just to have keep enjoying life.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
God bless
You
you.
do the same, man. Much success to you, man. FYI radio show, man. If you're not listening to it, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to
I
get on
tell you.
there and listen to the FYI. It probably stands for your information, but if it
Oh,
don't,
your information.
yeah, it's your information. You need it. So turn into the FYI radio show, man. Yolanda Hinton, also known as the lady.
The
You see it.
lady.
You see it. And I guess I would be the tramp. So there you go.
Get up. See you, Cletus.
All
Have
right.
a wonderful day, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, bye bye. Wow, we are so pleased to have Cletus on. Cletus Cassidy, you all check him out. He's been on the big stage. He's here in the Hampton Roads area, but he's been everywhere, traveling abroad, traveling throughout the country, and really doing a wonderful and fabulous job. You'll find him on all social media platforms, CLETUS, Cletus Cassidy. And Kassidy. Check him out. Check him out where he's going to be, the cruise that he's going to host, uh, and just many, many things that he's going to be doing. Monthly, he says he's here in the Newport News area. Go out there and just enjoy yourself and just, get a new experience. Just find out what other people are doing and especially people that want to do it and do it right. We're so pleased and proud of him. We give him another round of applause. Look, we got some upcoming shows coming up real quick. Let me shout out a few people before we do that. Do that. Omar, hello. Thanks. Hello. Let's see who else is here. Benita, what's going on? Destiny, hi. Nathan is here. God bless you, Nathan. Thank you for joining me. Let's see who else. So many folks. 218 Luna says hello. Hi, Luna. Garbage is here. Dirt ball. Garbage dirt ball. That's cute. Bun underscore bun 75. Um, D Jamal is here with us. Pisces girl is here. Lady Deidre, hello, how are you? Shelton, hi. Just Bunks, I think that's BUNX. God Kings, you, I like that too. King's daughter, wonderful, wonderful lady. You all check King's daughter out on this channel. Intentional, what's going on? Matt, how are you? Jenna, it's good to see you all up here. Linda and all, I tell you what, Sean, everybody just here. Amina, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ricky Blaze, what's going on? Lorenzo, hi. Shane Cousin, Anthony, just so many of you all on. Thank you for joining me on today. I hope you enjoyed this show. Make sure you join us. We have a great guest coming up on Friday, Miss Fiona Huff. She'll be here with us, and we're going to talk about self-care, ladies. This is the series I was talking about with the ladies, and Miss Fiona Huff is going to talk about self-care and a lot of things that she's doing to really, really help us to be, mindful of the things that we should do for ourselves and how we should live. A better way of doing things, a better way of living. That's a part of our series. We also have Angela Simmons that's coming up. Ooh, I'm excited about her being on as well. And Miss Yolanda Tillett will be here on Monday evening, FYI, after dark, to talk to our ladies. This is a women's series that we've talked about. We're ready to go. The ladies are ready. And I'm just thankful for them. And I'm also thankful for the guys that are going to be a part of the series. Our first guest, comedian Cletus Cassidy, he's so good. And we're going to be talking to more men that are married. We're going to be talking about talking to men that are single, talking to men that are divorced, honey. We got to get the tea on how that experience is. Football, hello, how are you? Helen, what's up? Sandra, hi, how are you? Logan, Jimmy, user 54755970191. Where's my girl Sheila Roberts? Is Mark Howard? Look, I got to shout him out because he was here on the other day and I didn't see his post, but he's always supporting Gene Kelly. What is going on? Songster, aka J Boy, Trevor, Freeman, Carmen. Make sure you all say something in the chat because if I can't, if your name goes by so fast and I can't shout you out, baby, then what? Then I can respond later on, right? Philippe, William, let's see, William Ortega. Oh, wow. Hi. And thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much for your support. I look forward to, sending out some love to you all and just wow, just being with you all on what you do. Testimony, what's going on, Bobby? Hi. Katina, I think that went by so fast. Evil Morty, Hello, Paula. Hi, Summer. What's going on? I love these names. William. Uh, thank you so much, Oliver, Jacob, and William, and Wilma. Is it Ann? I think it's something like that. Kim, Russell. Oh, wow. And Cassie. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to join me on Friday with Miss Fiona Huff. And let's have a good time. You all keep responding and stay in the chat and just get into the dialogue, ask your questions, or make your comments. Um, let's do that. And so, anyway, we'll see you all on Friday. I want you to have a wonderful and blessed. Don't forget to follow me. Those that haven't been on TikTok, make sure you get over here at Y Hinton, YHINTON, and follow a girl. I will follow you back. And don't forget YouTube at Crystal Records One, CRISTO Records One, or FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Facebook, of course, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. You all make sure you join me and everything for that. Let's see, we got Franita, I think that's how you pronounce it, Rollins, Delp. Good morning. So good to see you here on the feed. So look, I'm gonna see you all later. Solutions LLC, see you. James Oliver, Bravo again. I saw you earlier. Dwayne, El Papas, Fritas, Dorothy, Jocelyn, Santana. Ooh, so many y'all wonderful folk here. Have a wonderful day, and definitely stay blessed. Will you do that for me? Stay blessed. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. We're going to say goodbye to you all. TikTok. See you later, alligator. All right. Do we have Bookie? I think it's Bookie.